elected officials don't want anybody to talk about liberty. Well, I'll tell you why. My grandfather fought in World War I, went to Russia, and protected the assets.
You're a coward.
Protected the assets that the United States of America sent in order to keep them fed and warm. Now, my father also fought in China in World War II in the Pacific Theater. He helped assemble all of the resources necessary to invade Japan. Now, why did my grandfather go to war? Was it to get property? Was it to get money? Was it in order to go and imperialize the rest of the world? No, it was for liberty. It is for liberty that they win. It is for liberty that my father was away from his family for 18 months. They didn't have email then. They didn't have a phone they could even call on. 18 months. And our boys right now are out. Where are they? They're in Afghanistan. They're in Iraq. They're fighting for what?
Liberty.
They are fighting for liberty.
And the right to vote.
And the right to vote.
That's right. That's right.
Here, here.
So, you know, the cause of liberty runs in our veins as Americans. You know, let's go back and review some of the documents that brought forth our great nation. When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the bands which have connected them with one another, and to assume along the powers of earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitled them, to decent respect to the opinions of mankind that mankind requires, that they should declare these causes which impel them to such separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the government. There were many causes of separation listed in the Declaration of Independence. Ones that were interesting to me would be, he has erected, we're talking about King George, has erected new offices and sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people and to eat out their substance. Another one is for imposing taxes on us without our consent.
Amen.
Does that sound familiar?
It does.
In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for redress in the most humble terms. Our repeated petitions have been answered with only repeated injury. A prince whose character is thus marked by every act, which may define a, what? Tyrant, is unfit to be the ruler of a free people. We therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do in the name and by the authority of the good people of these colonies solemnly publish and declare that the United States colonies are, and for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. Also, let's look at the preamble. We, the people of the United States of America, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of what?
Liberty.
Liberty to ourselves and our posterity, who ordain and establish this Constitution of the United States of America. Do these things ring true for you?
Yes, they do. Yes.
Let's think about the First Amendment. I wonder why it was the First Amendment. Let's read it. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or of the right of what? The people to peaceably assemble and to petition the government for redress of their grievances. Abraham Lincoln. We all declare for liberty, but in using the same word, we do not all mean the same thing. With some, the word liberty may mean for each man do as he pleases with himself and the product of his labor, while others, the same would mean for some men to do as they please with other men. and the product of those other men's labor. Here are two not only different but incompatible things. They are called by the same name, liberty, and yet it follows that each of these things by its respective parties called by two different and really incompatible terms. One, on this side, liberty. On this side, tyranny. You know, President Ronald Reagan, I think, is a real true conservative that believed in the American ideal. And he said freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in their bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed to them to do the same. Or one day we will spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children that what it was once like in the United States when men were free. The roots of liberty run deep. Our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, with liberty and justice for all. Some of the songs that have gone across the waves of our land. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. Of these I sing, land where my fathers died, land where the pilgrims cried. From every mountain side, let freedom ring. Let music swell the breeze, and ring from all the trees. Sweet freedom's ring. Let mortal tongues awake. Let all their breath partake. Let rocks their silence break. The song prolong. Our fathers, God too, thee, author of liberty. To thee we sing, long may our land be bright. With freedom's holy light, protect us by thy might, great God our King. There is no in-between. Either you promote and defend liberty, or you promote and defend tyranny. City Council, elected officials, all I ask of you is whenever you undertake to legislate, resolve, or do the city's business, determine, are you carrying forth the torch of liberty, or are you hammering down with the hammer of tyranny? Thank you for this time.
Good job, Greg.
Mr. Garrett, would you like to speak?
Yes, ma'am, I would. Thank you.